Hi, it's Therese here. I hope you had a really amazing school holiday and you're ready for the new term. And I thought I'd start slightly differently today by doing a video to talk to you about the beginning of term, how to get started. And the main topic I'm going to think about today is school rules. We sometimes call them codes of conduct. We call them values, all sorts of different things, golden rules. It's whatever fits for you at your school. But they're very important at this time in the school year, as you know. So we're going to be thinking about what rules, moral values should you have. We're going to be thinking about what shouldn't be in your school values or your class routines. We're going to be thinking about where they should be too in the school. And we're going to be thinking about it collectively as a whole school, because it's really important to have whole school values or whole school rules or whole school codes of conduct so that everybody in the school knows the expectations. Everybody knows how they should be behaving and what's expected here. I want to show you something. I was doing a little search at home and actually clear out, and I came across, for any of you who are Kiwis, I came across when I worked and lived in New Zealand, the rules that I put up. I did a big project. Well, you're not going to be able to see that because that's all back to front. But I came across a big project that I did with 8 schools in South Dunedin over a period of 2 years. And we put together rules in Maori, which is the language of New Zealand, and in English. And we had them as our whole school values. So all the schools talk to their children. So that's the most important thing you can do, is get together with your children in your classes as a whole school and assembly and talk to them about what do you think the rules are we need as a school, what are our values, what are important to us, and get the children to come up with those as their code of conduct, moral values or rules. I'm going to call them rules today because it's just easier to have something that we talk about. So get together, get the children's input, get them on board. It's really, really important to hear their voices. And then decide, break them down as to what is important. Most rules fall under the categories of taking care of the environment, taking care of ourselves, and taking care of equipment and learning. So we need to be thinking about that as we put them together, and thinking about them being moral values. They're the backbone of your school, backbone of your classroom, backbone in the playground, and they're about children knowing that's the expectation. So ones I've got here in terms of my our school values are things that we need on them are we are kind and caring, and phrase it in the positive. We are kind and caring. We are honest. We listen. We respect our own and others' property. We work hard. We care for our school and environment. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to try it again. It is back to front, but so annoying, isn't it, videos? Another one I've got here is that I worked on with a school, and I tend to work with schools around this because it's your school. You want it to come from the children, and you want the language of the children too. But basically it breaks down into this school said we are gentle, we're kind and helpful, we work hard, we look after property, we listen and respect adults and children, we're honest. And this is, and some in here are for the playground too. We play well with others, we keep the playground rules. So the importance there too of thinking about where these rules go. If we've got a whole school, it's about you coming up with your whole school moral values. And so that children from reception through to year 6 have exactly the same message. So everywhere they go, if they're being kind, they get celebrated for being kind. Little comments, you can make a comment, you can put a sticker on somebody, that they're celebrated for that kindness. If they are really honest, they might tell you something and own up to something, that you celebrate that value of kindness with them. In circle times, if you do circle times, you may have a theme of kindness. They may do a round of one kind thing I did was. So you're always in your circle times reinforcing your values, your expectations of the children. Very important that those rules are up in your dining halls, they're up in your hallways, they're in your main school hall, and that you've got them outside in the playground. Because very often what children think is there's a different code of conduct inside the school to outside the school. So I'd highly suggest that you make sure that you have rules up outside in the playground. That's often where the trouble starts. It's where I do a lot of my work, going into schools and actually talking to you about how to create positive play times. So I hope this has been helpful for the start of the school year. And if you've got any questions, please email me, ask me. Something I feel really passionate about, having a whole school way, whole school rules. I'm not big on classroom rules. I'm okay on classroom routines. So a rule is a moral value. A routine is we walk on the left. We put our pencils in the red pots. We put our books in this particular area. And you need routines for different parts of the school. You need routines in your classroom so they know where the children know where certain things go. They know how to behave in certain situations. They know that they're going to have to go and stand up in a particular place when they line up to go to the hall or to go out to play. Those are your routines. And the distinction between a rule and a routine is really important. Your rules are your moral values. So your rules are how you want your children to become, who you want them to become. So you want them to become kind, you want them to be honest, you want them to care about others, you want them to be able to listen. They're qualities that children have. A routine is walking on the left. So in please, it's really important when I go into schools, I always get them to distinguish a difference and actually sift out those routines that sometimes have filtered into their rules. So I find when I go to schools, I've got routines mixed into rules. So please walk on the left. It is what we want to always think about is, do we want our children to grow up thinking they've always got to walk on the left? Is that who we want them to be? Somebody who always walks on the left. And as my partner on holiday said this week, well, actually, no, a few weeks ago when we were on holiday, we were in a hotel, and he said, do you remember when you were in school, you always had to walk on the left up the staircase? And it's like, yeah, it stays in your head, but it's not who I want to be. So remember that when you put your rules together. Who do you want your children to be? What are the qualities, what are the values that are important to you as a school, or as a teacher, or as a lunchtime supervisor? I hope that's been helpful. Do let me know if it has, and if you have any questions around it. And I look forward to doing a few more of these videos. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye.